Lyndon Lebayan.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Lyndon. I'm a software developer, wedding videographer, Lumix enthusiast. Brand whore, kind of a brand whore at this point, but this video is going to be about the Lumix S5 II. Now, I don't have one, I haven't touched one. These are just my thoughts based on watching every single YouTube video of the S5 Mark II that's been put out, at least in English anyway. I waited a bit to make this video because I wanted to give my YouTubers enough time to make their initial videos, like the first week in January when the flood of videos came out. I wanted to wait for the secondary videos that would come after, and then like the tertiary videos after that from the smaller YouTubers, and I had to borrow them from the first YouTubers who got them, which a lot of them actually did. So I'm glad I waited, and I have my own thoughts, and this is going to be my video about what I think of the S5 Mark II, and if I'm going to get one, and all that stuff. Let's just give some context first. First of all, I know that the S5 Mark II is not going to, if I did get one anyway, is not going to change, you know, the quality of my films. I know that gear, as far as like what I have, is good enough to be able to make the videos I want. It's not a magic bullet, and fuck, am I out of focus? See, I don't even know if I'm in focus. If I did pick one up, it wouldn't be adding to the gear. I would probably be selling the S5 Mark I and just replacing it with the Mark II. Okay, well, let's start off with autofocus. It's pretty much unanimous among all the YouTubers. The autofocus is pretty great. Everyone is pretty much in agreement that 99% of the time, it does exactly what they want. It acts how they expect it to act. The art of photography also mentioned that the animal autofocus actually is doing eye detect. He confirmed with Lumix that it's doing eye detect, but the UI is not displaying that on screen. You're not getting the crosshair like you normally would with the face auto detect, but apparently it's working on animals, which is huge to me, because even though I shoot these weddings, I do wedding videos, a lot of the time I'm shooting video and pictures of my dog or dogs, like my dog and my dad's dog, who are brother and sister, and having reliable animal autofocus while I get them like running towards me, which I love to do, would be pretty sweet. Another huge improvement that I think is pretty sweet is IBIS. Apparently the IBIS is even better than the GH6 and the S5 Mark I. So it was already great in the S5. It was already great in the GH6. I'm almost never gimbling, but apparently it's supposedly even better. Gerald Undone had an impressive test where he ran through like a parkade with his wife, and Kai W, I believe, did a test like in the middle of, I don't even know what street it was, but one of the busy streets in Tokyo. He was walking through there and it looked pretty good, so I'm glad about that. It's a feature I definitely would utilize. Another huge improvement is frame rates and resolution. So there's still a crop at 4K 60, which I'm okay with. I like to adapt the 50 to 100 and the 18 to 35, so I'm okay with cropping. But with the S5 Mark II, we get DCI 4K 10-bit unlimited recording. I like to deliver in 2.1, and being able to shoot in DCI and just, you know, move the frame up or down instead of having to crop in or cut out. Basically just having more on the horizontal is always good. The last feature that no one really talked about, which I think is a huge deal for me, because a weakness of mine is white balancing. There's a feature now called auto white balance lock, where essentially it's like almost like AFS. If you're not familiar with that, AFS stands for autofocus single, I think. Instead of continuous autofocusing, when you hit the shutter or hit record or whatever, it focuses on whatever it's supposed to focus on, and then it's just locked on that for the remainder of the recording. Auto white balance lock essentially does the same thing. So I carry a gray card with me. So typically when I'm indoors, and typically when it's like mixed lighting, like I'm talking like mixed indoor sources plus a window. So I'll pull this out, I'll go into the custom white balance settings and put this in frame and take a picture. If I'm going from room to room, or a hall to a room, back to the hall, back to outside, it can get pretty hairy doing it one-handed. If I got the camera in a cage or whatever with a monitor, doing that one-handed while holding the gray card out, be able to snap the picture, gets a little hairy. I think it would be pretty convenient, because how it works is I don't need to go into the custom menu. I can just set it to auto white balance lock, hold the gray card, hit record, you know, and it'll set the white balance for me for the duration of that recording. I think that would be a huge feature. No one really talked about that either. Dave Mays, on his second channel or primary channel now or whatever, he mentioned it. He had a little segment on it, but no one really talked about it. I found it buried in the presser on DP Review. It was like a one-liner, but I think that's a huge feature. If I was going to get the S5 Mark II, I wouldn't add it to the kit. It would be a replacement. So my dream setup is to be able to have 3 cameras shooting 4K 10-bit unlimited recording. That's the dream setup. Now, I could have already done that with buying multiple GH5s or multiple GH6s, but I don't know. I don't feel right having the same camera models. I don't know. It's just a mental barrier. I want all different cameras, but able to shoot kind of the same, where I'm able to color them. Another bonus too is with the S5 Mark II, because it shoots unlimited, it has full V-Log just like the GH6, 10-bit just like the GH6. I could use one or the other as primary or secondary. Like it wouldn't, I should put this down. I could use either or as primary or secondary, and the GH5 is just, you know, the permanent B cam. Panasonic has a history of dropping the price of their cameras after launch. So like the GH6, I think it was 8 months after launch, saw a $200 reduction. I think the S5 saw the same thing after a year, maybe mid wedding season, or even like, I don't know, end of the year, depending on how good the discount is. If I did get it, I would probably wait till then. Yeah, still exciting times. The fact that Lumix jumped on the VisiTech autofocus bandwagon, I mean, it was time. And the fact that they did it and the price did not exceed 2,000 USD, or in my world, it didn't exceed 3,000 Canadian. I was worried that getting the new autofocus system would bump it up over, you know, into A7 IV land, but it's not. It's 2,600 Canadian. That's an easier sell to myself and to my wife, who doesn't want me buying anything. That's the end of the video. Gear doesn't matter, but it kind of does, but it also isn't important because I have everything I need. It's just really fun and cameras are cool. So guys, yeah, if you're, I don't know, anything like me, or if you're not like me, if you disagree, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching if you made it to the end of the video, and shoot, I'll see you in the next video if I make one. When I make one, I'll make another video. Okay, bye guys, thanks, bye.